Welcome back to another episode of Sound Pals Go to the Movies. Today I will be reviewing the movie Miller's Girl. So just a fair warning, there's going to be spoilers up ahead, so you've been warned. A creative student assignment yields complex results between the teacher and his talented student. So let's begin with my first pro. Okay, let's give props where it's due. Jenna Ortega, her acting was great. She did bring that innocent, but I can be lethal if I don't get what I want character out. So for example, she is nice, kind, smart, but then she can do a 180 on you. If you're familiar with anime girl architecture types, think yandere. So Jenna brings this out in her character Cairo. As for the rest of the cast, they are simply just there and they do enough to get a passing grade. Next pro, the idea, in quotations, of the plot of the story. So it's a girl who starts off being nice, but then gets tunnel vision on her goal, and when she doesn't get her way, she sort of brings everything down with her, while at the same time coming out as the innocent party. So this is an interesting idea. If there was more things to build around it and support it, but still, I will put it on the positive side. And now, on to my cons. So like I said, the idea or the premise of the story is okay. It was a nice start, but I wanted more to it, like show me the relationship between Mr. Miller and his wife and him getting distance from her or her actions showing neglect towards him. All we get is her talking down to him by telling him that he gave up as a writer because he was scared in the scene where the couples are out with the mutual friend Boris. And you can even see Boris's face reaction like, oh, get me the hell out of here because they're about to fight and it's getting kind of awkward. Also with Cairo, I need more of a build up to her and not for her to go straight to seducing the teacher. Also, it doesn't help that it's a high school student and a teacher relationship. Mind you, that they did make a point from the start for her to start off by saying that she was 18 in the beginning of the movie. But I guess this is a real thing that happens in real life, real cases. So let's just put that to the side for now. One thing I did like was when Mr. Miller tells her to pick another writer because her subject is controversial. If you notice, Mr. Miller's desk is a little higher than the other students on a sort of platform, and Cairo's desk is dead center of the classroom. But at the moment when he talks to her, the height difference changes. She steps onto the platform where his desk is situated and they're at the same level. But then he steps down and now she's physically at a higher ground. And it shows her dominating the situation and the tear she sheds that rolls down her cheek, but she keeps her assertiveness. That I have to give credit where it's due. That was a nicely shot scene. But back to the cons. The way you have more characters around the main characters, but there's no build up. They add nothing to the story. Also, there are lack of extras. We don't see other teachers. We don't see the baseball team that the coach is talking about. So this film is like 50 Shades of Grey kind of story, or if you want to go that route, it tries to be the new Lolita, both in the respects of the film and novel. And I guess Jenna got the role because of her fans that are into her. So let me make this comment. The film was like sex, but without foreplay. It goes straight for the act even if you, the audience, aren't ready for it. And you want it to slow down and develop more, which never happens. Then at the end of the film, it feels like your partner is done with the act and you are just left there saying, okay, you're good, but I'm not. I still need to get mine. The ending, it just ends and there's no explanation, but it leaves it up to you to conclude or finish on your own what they started, which with the lack of build-up, it is non-existent. Next con, the dialogue. Okay, for a film about a student writing a story in the format of a writer that she chooses, and most of the books being, how should I say this, using big words, the dialogue comes out as being too pretentious. Like, come on, a high school student having a dialogue with the teacher about authors using that kind of vocabulary, not vulgar, but words that you would only find in the SAT test. Even the teacher tells his wife about the word she is using, and that impresses him to a certain point. The film makes some characters use words to make them seem eloquent and refined, while others use normal dialogue to separate the roles. Also, it does this to take attention away from the lack of build-up to the story and the shortcomings from the script. Next con, the editing. So I felt it wanted to be artistic since the dialogue links to the literature and writing, so the editing was meant to be the illustration that comes from you reading literature that describes certain scenes. For example, her smoking and the smoke coming out of her mouth slowly and bellowing out, and also the beetle that's on her leg. These are some sort of attempts to be like, yeah, see this? It's describing literature, but using film and imagery, and it fails as a sad attempt with editing. It just makes the viewers more confused than they already are. So my grade for this movie is going to be a 5 out of 10. The film had an interesting idea, like I said, sort of rebooting Lolita novel/film, but if I compare it to a writing assignment, I would return it and say this is a good start, like a first draft, go back and work on it and add some more. The seduction is there, the eye candy for the fans of Jenna Ortega is there, but everything else that would make this film be remembered for taking on the topic of teacher and student's relationship and making viewers have a discussion about it, but instead people will just be like, did you see that teacher-student 50 Shades of Grey attempt? Yeah, it was just kind of dirty. And some will just say it's kind of sad. Just so you know, in my viewing, there was a total of 3 people, including me. And one of them fell asleep. And the other said something to the extent of, this was a pain to watch, glad it was short. So that does it for this review of Miller's Girl. Please join us next time where we're going to review Out of the Darkness. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You can find our social media links below. And like always, keep watching movies.